Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you're watching this from or what time you're watching this. My name is Amit Sodha, back again in this Business Spotlights interview series, but this time with Al Costa. I've had the pleasure of talking to him for like half an hour before the session, and I've found out there's plenty of juicy learnings he's going to be sharing with us today. Al has been the owner of 5 different companies across 4 different worlds, as well as being a father of 3 wonderful daughters. How does he do it? So we're going to find out exactly what's behind his magic in doing what he's been doing to become the success he is at the moment. So, Al, welcome to the session. How are you?
Just fine. Thanks for receiving me. Very
Absolutely,
honored.
it's a pleasure. Why don't we kick off with you sharing a bit about the kind of businesses you've been involved in and how long you've been running them for?
I guess, like you said, 5 companies, 4 countries. My first, when I was living with my parents back in Brazil, sold it to an American company, which was later sold to Nas. One listed in Nasdaq, so I ended up with the shares of a Nasdaq listed company. Second, I fundraised in Silicon Valley, total disaster. Third, I went to China to bring stuff, and then learned some Chinese, ni hao, and then um, I eventually moved to Spain because I'm from Spain. My dad was a diplomat, so I ended up with Brazilian Spanish citizenship, and then founded Tekntrash, which is a data analytics company. Even though the name sounds like we are in the recycling business, no, we provide consumption data for companies. I can explore that later on if you are interested in a boring sales pitch.
Fantastic, fantastic. No, the tech and trash does sound interesting, and we'll be introducing that in a few seconds.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned the first business where you ended up selling it to someone, and then that company got listed into the Nasdaq. Sounds amazing. Would you mind just sharing a bit about what
Sure.
that business was and what drove your success in that business, which led to you being taken over by a Nasdaq listed company?
Well, I was forced to become an entrepreneur. I never even thought about it, to be honest. It's just that I got tired of I would have a job, and then all after 6 months in the job, everyone will get fired, including it's yours truly. Next job. Oh, but why were you 6 months in your last job? No, because everyone got fired. Okay, fine. Again, 6, 8 months, everyone fired, including yours truly. And again, I thought, okay, I've had it. I better move into something more solid. And everyone was talking about the internet at the time, the internet, the amazing internet. And I did. Everyone was doing web pages. I thought that was baloney. I thought that was just. I remember that companies would create large corporations, Banco Bradesco. We're talking Brazil. We're talking Rio de Janeiro. We're talking 1995. So as you can imagine, not very high tech, Silicon Valley type place. And
Yeah.
then, and everyone was just doing a web page and 5 pager and putting on newspaper. We are digital. Just like today, you see all these companies saying that we care about the environment, etc., ESG, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, well, not really. At the time, they would create a web page and say, we are digital. You're not digital. You just have a web page. And then I wanted to create e-commerce systems. And then it was a tough sale. And I wrote a book. Actually, to my surprise, was the first book written by a Brazilian about e-commerce. And don't ask me how it ended up being purchased by a company in Miami. And then
Oh,
they wanted to establish themselves in Latin America, especially Brazil, because that was the main market. And then they were looking for this guy who wrote this book because they thought, okay, this guy has a company, we want to buy this company. And I met them in Madrid, in Spain. So it's, I guess, a small world. And they're like, oh, you're the guy who wrote that book? Yes, me. Yeah, we want to buy your company. Great. Please give me, show me your weapons, show me your arms. And then I sold it, and then I became the country manager for that company in Brazil. And that company was eventually sold to one, was listed in Nasdaq, called Fusion Networks at the time. And I became a shareholder. because I had shares of the other of the first company. And then I thought, oh, okay, apparently much better than having a job in which they fire you after 6 months. And then I decided my second company to be a music portal. And then I went to Silicon Valley to that famous Sand Hill Road, which is where the
So
Mecca.
Al, going back to the first business,
Yeah.
really a successful one. What do you think? What principles of running a business do you think drove the success over there, where that company just wanted to buy you out? What was the key reason why they thought, let's buy this company out?
You know something? I always remember the words of Jack Ma. Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba, multi-billionaire, maybe not as known as Elon Musk or something, but Alibaba is a brand new name, and then the brand name everyone knows about it. And then he says that he tried many jobs, and then he would get fired just like me, or he would not get it, etc. And the reason why he started in the business world was simply because he could speak English, which sounds silly, but we're talking China, okay?
Yeah.
Here, speaking English, wow! I mean, what's a big deal? But over in China, it's a big deal. Uh, so I did my college and my master's in the United States, and then I lived there 6 years. And my dad always wanted to know why, because I could have done it back in Brazil. It's just that I saw an opportunity of not speaking just English, but having my dad was a diplomat. I wanted to have a more advanced education, and that opened so many doors for me. And then, so for example, I could talk in English to them,
Mm.
which kind of helps in the business world. And it was also that, I guess, like I said, I struck a luck that I met them in Spain, even though they had purchased my book in Miami, I think through Amazon or something like that. And then, so you need to be ready for luck. Just like, I'll give you an example.
So
Imagine
you're
life.
quite a luck. Okay.
Yeah, imagine life. Life is you in front of this slot machine, chachlang, 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 every day, chachlang, chachlang. One day you do chachlang and you start to get a lot of coins. If you don't have a bag to grab those coins will just slide over you and you will maybe get a few here and a few there, but you will not be able to catch this. So it is not rocket science. You have to be insistent, have a bag, and just cha-chang, 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 knowing that at one point, whether you like it or not, you will hit some jackpot and a lot of coins will grab. The question is, do you have a bag to catch them? You
Mhm.
follow?
Gotcha. Gotcha. So being prepared for the success that follows and being
Yeah.
ready to kind of handle the success that comes along.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And just insistent. So there's plenty of people that insist, but they don't
Yeah.
have a bag. And all of a sudden, jackpot, and
And
all
they're not
these
ready for it.
coins fall to the floor and
Yeah.
they're unable to actually catch much. And it's a
Gotcha.
pity, you know?
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but got to be ready for success. Otherwise, we'll just
Yeah.
pass you without you knowing. Love the sound of that. So, for the five businesses you've been running, what would you say are the top three lessons you've learned, say about managing or working with people? Because that's a hot topic right now. Handling
If
teams,
I,
working with teams, getting the best out of. What would you say from all the experience you've had, your top three lessons that you'd like to share about managing people?
the first is, do believe there is something called karma. Okay. I had a company that will sell stuff over the internet, and we had complicated customers. And the funny thing is, whenever a complicated customer who was complaining about stuff that he was not entitled to, stuff that he imagined that we should provide him, that we never said that we would, that uh, uh, whenever we found one of these people and we told him, I'm sorry, but we don't provide that. You are making stuff up. Uh, there were many that will tell us lies. Oh, I have done this. I have paid that. I mean, we had the entire history of this customer in our computer, and the computer will just disprove this guy. And so a lot of them were just plain liars. But still, making people angry, even when you are right and you have every single reason to be mad because this guy is not performing or this customer is treating you poorly, etc. Don't make people mad, because that creates karma. And the funny thing is that sales will drop always, like for a week, um, until this guy eventually will, his anger will diminish or something, and still will go up. So
Mhm.
I learned never to make people mad, even when I have every single reason to not. And
Interesting.
and and
Almost
that
sounds a bit like
includes.
almost
Go
sounds a
ahead.
bit like laugh and the world laughs with you, cry and the world cries with you. So kind of put out there what you want to get back, kind of thing. If you
Yeah.
put out anger, you get anger. Put out something better, you get something better back. Really good learning. What about your second learning or
The
second tip you
second
share?
is, um, learn to pull your troops. I mean, everyone will tell you no. Always insist. That's just silly. I mean, imagine you're a king. A company is like a kingdom. We don't have kings anymore. The equivalent are companies. I mean, you got these companies today that have more money than entire countries. For me, that's a kingdom. They have
Yeah,
like 100,000 employees, 1 million employees. That's a kingdom.
yeah,
And
pretty
the
much.
CEO is a king. Therefore, these companies, they they need to understand that they have a social purpose, that is not just making money, that
Mm,
and that my second lesson is have a social purpose. That's your first thing. You're a king. A king is not there just to make money. I mean, if you have a king that is only interested in making money, that doesn't. Imagine a politician that only wants money.
yeah,
Not,
yeah.
yeah,
Have a social
and
purpose to bring kind of to bring joy into the community. Bring what?
bring social good. Then
Ah,
you're a king. Bring social good. Okay. Of course, you're not there to save the manatee. Sing kumbaya. Let's hug a tree. Okay. I'm not, and to save Gaia. I'm not saying that.
yeah.
But realize that your first thing is to have a social purpose. And the
Mm,
third, and I was actually getting there, is realize that you as a king, you have troops and you have battles, and there may be battles that you're not going to win. So don't there. If you read the stories of so many kings that they went into battle and they just insisted in is on fighting an enemy that was like 10 times superior, and finally they lost all their troops, and then they had nobody else, and then the enemy troops would come and kill this king. So
mm,
this thing that is so fashionable of saying that, always insist, never give up. No, no, no. Learn to pull your troops. That's not giving up, but because you have not won the war. We're talking about battle and war.
gotcha.
So learn the difference between a war that you want to win and a battle. If
Mm,
you think that this battle you're not gonna win, don't spend all your troops on this
yeah,
battle, because you will
gotcha.
not be able to earn the win, to get the war, to win the war. So
Hmm.
learn to pull back when you feel that this particular battle you're not gonna win, and don't go for this never give up. Think that it's childish, you know.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. And hey, look, three really refreshing and different lessons that you've
Yep.
shared compared to what we've heard in the past. Number one was don't forget about karma. Things do come back to us. Number two was have
Yep.
a social purpose, bring good into the community. And finally, learn to pull your troops and kind of remember battle versus war. You want to win the war, not the battle. And maybe give up on certain battles that are not going to get you anywhere. So you kind of rescue your troops. Amazing learnings, amazing learnings. Almost sounds like some learnings from the book from The Art of War, kind of over there, which is quite really relevant these days, obviously.
Yep.
Moving on, I'm just going to be conscious of time. We've got 5 minutes left. A question I really want to ask you is: you've got a new company, Data and Trash, or correct me if I'm wrong if I got it wrong over there. But would you like to tell us a
Tekntrash.
bit? Tech and Trash, that's the one. If you can tell us a bit about what this company Tech and Trash is all about, and then maybe help us see what is your 3 to 5 year vision for that business.
Tekntrash, the name is misleading. It looks like we're in the recycling business. We are not. I'm a biologist. After that, I did a master's in computer engineering. So I know the importance of recycling, and we're convinced that we are bringing a lot of value to the recycling business, even though we have nothing to do with recycling. I'm so happy for it. But again, we are a data and analytics company. The way to describe our company is with an example. If I buy dog food, who is the consumer, me or the dog? If you say you, well, not really, because the consumer, I'm the buyer. The consumer is the dog. If the
Mm,
dog decides that it does not want to eat this thing, I cannot speak dog. I cannot convince
yeah.
it otherwise. So I will have to change brand. So suppose I create a new brand of dog food and I sell 1 million packages. Hooray, wonderful. Let's wait 1 month for these dogs, all these 1 million dogs or whatever, to eat through these packages. And naturally, since I created, since I did sell 1 million packs, let's create another 1 million packages for the next batch. Now, right, because I have sold it, I have sales data that proves to me that I will sell again. No, sorry. You don't have consumption data, you have sales data. Sales data means you didn't sell to dogs, you sold it to supermarkets. So
Mm,
if this dogs is if zero dogs like your product, you're not gonna sell again. You will just waste money creating another 1 million packages of dog food that no dogs is buying, and no dog is eating. No one is buying it. So to that, we created a system called Stipra, that means strength in Latvian, if you want to know. That is comprised of a SaaS website called corp.stipra.com, in which companies, they go there and create geofenced campaigns on products they want us to track at disposal sites.
mhm.
People download an app using their mobiles, and using their mobiles, they make videos of their household garbage. Like, for example, take this charge thing, and then and I'm going to throw this in the garbage along with other stuff. I show the barcode and I dispose it. I get points for this. So it is a loyalty system for disposal, just like you get points for nectar, etc., for buying stuff. You with Stipra, you get points for disposing of stuff. So it's a POD, it's a point of disposal. You have to do a POS, a point of sales. That is
Ah,
basically when you pay, you use your loyalty card, etc.
yeah, yeah.
Now we have a POD, which is a point of disposal. And companies get this data about where, when all the products are disposed. And in the case of using this prototype, I guess
Yeah.
this is a prototype of a smart bin called StipraPod. It has here an NFC card reader. It looks ugly because we've been inserting so many sensors inside that it doesn't fit anymore. So
Huh.
it has here a battery. It has a camera. I don't know if you can see it, an
Okay.
infrared camera. StipraPod is a network of AI-powered uh, recycling systems that are made of wood, very pretty, that recycle for you. They're meant to be used in airports, shopping centers, posh places, smart cities. In fact, we received strong interest from a major player in the MENA region that is creating 3 major smart cities in that region. And the idea is, instead of you going to these posh places and you have these 4 boxes saying metal, paper, etc., that's not high tech at all. Now you have a single place with a single hole in which you dispose of your products. It recycles for you. It's made of wood. It has a solar panel. It has an NFC card reader, so you identify yourself with your mobile or with a card, and then you get points. The companies get data. The smart city has a much integrated system that, for example, if the thing starts to fill in, it closes. StipraPod has a door that closes, and then it shows on the screen. Unfortunately, I am full, but if you go to your right 200 meters or to your left or something, you will find another StipraPod that will gladly take your trash. So instead of these overflowing trash cans that you find in shopping centers that totally ruin the expensive decor, now you have a network of disposal systems able to reward people, recycle, provide companies with valuable data, and
Mhm.
look much better in that posh place, you know?
You're really taking recycling and the data behind recycling to another level. So, out over the next 5 years, what's your vision? If we were speaking 5 years' time, what do you feel you'd be telling us of where your business is at that point in time?
At one point, we were called the Facebook of trash. Then I think that at first I was like Facebook of trash, but and then I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, something we'd like to be a weapon of change. Uh, Only 6% of the world's plastic is recycled. That means that 94% is not. An industry that is 94% failed, for me, is a dysfunctional industry. I'm sorry, that's not working. That
Yeah,
needs a revamp. And honestly, if you recycle, what's in it for you? What do you get for recycling?
if it's not recycled, did you say?
If you recycle, what's your benefit for you?
I think it's just a bit of internal kind of satisfaction I've done something good, but apart from that, I can't see much.
Yeah. Mm. Now, I lived in poor countries. I lived in countries such as Haiti. Uh, Over in those places, you don't have the time, you don't have the stamina, you don't have the interest of thinking about the planet Earth, etc. I mean, it's expecting that kind of mindset when this person has not even anything to dispose because he doesn't even have food. That's
Mm,
just that's just silly. And then imagine now, for example, that through Stipra, we could provide these people with a tool to actually make money for recycling.
yeah.
We are solving to a degree, we're not going to make this person rich, but we are providing this person with a source of income. We're helping the environment. We're helping the company because companies can integrate this consumption data with their regular sales data. So, for example, they may be able to find that we're finding a lot of products being disposed in a town that they're not selling. Well, they should be selling because if this thing is showing up in the garbage in this town, is because people are buying it. And
Mm.
then so that's a sales opportunity. And then so everyone wins. And I'm so happy for it.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. And gonna have to wrap up over there, but one bullet point answer. What advice would you give to your 18-year-old self if you start your life over again?
Don't don't be a DICK.
Well,
I look in the past, and I think I was too rough on too many people. Then I was always like, I know better, etc. And then I've always tried to be an overachiever, etc. That's amazing, but don't spread it in So in that point, I think I still have a long way to pay up for all the people that I thought that I was entitled to say you did wrong, you do not work well, you're fired, etc. Then if I could go back, I would just have a total different attitude with those guys. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What an interview. What learnings. And thank you for your honesty, being so humble, and some real specific learnings you shared, which no doubt are going to be forming good bits of learnings for people to listen to and take forward from here. Al, once again, thank you very much. And I've got 1.5 pages of notes right here from all the lovely stuff you shared. Thank you very much. Round of applause for you, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening indeed.